welcome to our 8th post-cabinet press briefing for 2024. Let me invite the Minister of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services, Dr. Mswele, who chairs these sessions, to make his presentation.
Thank you, Chief Secretary, Dr. Martin Rushwaya. Thank you, members of the Fourth Estate, for coming to attend to the 8th post-cabinet press briefing session. Cabinet received a number of items today for discussion and adoption. The Minister of Health and Childcare, Honorable Dr. Douglas Mombeshora, updated Cabinet on the national cholera outbreak response. The Ministry of Health and Childcare continues to conduct integrated trainings in case management, surveillance, infection prevention and control, and social mobilization for all provinces, but mainly targeting Midlands and Masvingo provinces. There is also continued community awareness and deployment of oral rehydration points and cholera treatment camps. The Ministry of Health and Childcare and the Apostolic Women's Empowerment Trust conducted a 2-day training session on cholera advocacy in Mutare and Masvingo cities. The training sessions were attended by leaders from the Apostolic and Islamic faith, traditional leaders, and the Zimbabwe National Traditional Healers Association. Cabinet received and noted the update on the Ministry of Home Affairs and Cultural Heritage as presented by Honorable Kazembe Kazembe on the ICT Systems Integration Strategy. The integrated ICT Systems Strategy in the Ministry of Home Affairs and Cultural Heritage aims at automating the work processes to enhance efficiency and effectiveness, and to integrate ICT systems within the ministry as well as with other external departments. The implementation of the project will facilitate the ease of doing business, which is the Second Republic's mantra. The ministry is moving forward in implementing the strategy in order to modernize and automate systems that contribute to the early attainment of Vision 2030. His Excellency the President, Dr. Idi Mnangagwa, seeks to modernize and automate all systems across government ministries, departments, and agencies. The strategy comprises the following pillars: the Zimbabwe Population Registry System, the Online Border Management System, the Police Integrated Information Management System, the Traffic Management System, the Laboratory Management System, and the Electronic Document and Records Management System. Whilst the strategy is being implemented in phases, some progress has been recorded under the different pillars, and some of the achievements include the following: that the Zimbabwe Population Registry System has seen 73 registry offices being computerized, with the e-passport services being installed at 7 provincial and 8 district registry offices. E-passports are now being issued within 7 days. The online border management system is at an advanced stage, with test runs for online visa applications being conducted. Work is underway on the forensic laboratory management system, with some forensic equipment having been received. Cabinet was also updated on the re-establishment of the National Youth Service Program by the Minister of Youth Empowerment, Development and Vocational Training, Honorable Tino Machakaire. Cabinet made a decision in 2021 to re-establish the National Youth Service Program, and progress has been registered by the Ministry of Youth Empowerment, Development and Vocational Training. And some of the achievements include the following. The National Youth Service Bill is being drafted following the approval of the principles in August 2023. The establishment of an interministerial implementation committee to oversee the implementation of the program. The development of a 6-month training program which will target youth between the age of 18 and 35. The program, which covers 3 months of institutionalized training and 3 months of community attachment, will commence in June 2024 with an enrollment of 750 members of the youth across the country. Those who undergo the training will be issued with certificates on completion. The new curriculum will infuse national orientation with life skills training and entrepreneurial development. New uniforms, signage, and logo have been designed and will be registered. All production units are expected to utilize available land and engaged in commercial production units for self-sustenance, and a total of 10,000 youths are earmarked to undergo training in 2024. The youth will be drawn equally from all the country's 10 provinces. The recruitment will be cascaded to incorporate youths in all wards and districts. And the National Youth Service Program has been renamed the Youth Service in Zimbabwe. Going forward, youths who complete training will receive priority in terms of employment and enrollment in public sector and institutions of higher and tertiary education, and will be prioritized for financial support in order to establish new projects and businesses. Cabinet considered and adopted the second edition of the special report on the implementation of the Binga Development Initiatives, which was presented by the Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, Honorable Lovemo Matuke. Cabinet would like to advise the nation that significant strides in implementing life-changing projects that are aimed at addressing infrastructure and socio-economic gaps in Binga District, Matabeleland North Province are being accelerated. It will be recalled that on the occasion of his visit to Binga District, His Excellency the President addressed Siabua Growth Point on the 19th of March 2022. His Excellency the President then initiated a program to ensure that Binga development becomes part of the socio-economic development matrix. Some of the initiatives that started were intended to address the huge infrastructure and socio-economic development deficiencies that were evident in the district. This is in line with the National Development Strategy 1 and the mantra of leaving no one and no place behind towards the attainment of Vision 2030. To that end, 21 Binga development initiatives were identified and implementation began thereafter. An assessment exercise was undertaken during the period 12 to 26 November 2023. The exercise covered Binga and other sectors were included in the Binga Development Initiative, focusing on education, health, energy, publicity and broadcasting, agriculture, housing, water and sanitation, ICT, governance, empowerment, transport, and national registry services. The following are some of the major projects that have been undertaken in Binga District. the rehabilitation of the Lubimbi-Mswazi Road, the rehabilitation of the Binga airstrip, the refurbishment of the Binga District Hospital, mortuary, the rehabilitation of the Binga Hospital Mother's Shelter, the establishment of the Twasumbuka Community Radio Station, the rehabilitation of the Binga Craft Center, installation of an electricity transformer, the installation of internet connectivity to facilitate e-learning, the establishment of the Binga border post, senior appointments in government, the issuance of national identification documents, the delivery of fishing rigs. Outstanding projects are also being accelerated to ensure that we leave no place and no one behind. During the assessment exercise, most beneficiaries testified to the positive impact on socio-economic development of the district and an improvement in terms of the livelihoods as a result of the implementation of the initiatives by His Excellency the President, Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa. Benefits to the people also included employment creation, correct information dissemination in local languages on development programs and projects implemented by the Second Republic, improved road trafficability and water supply for domestic, industrial and agricultural purposes, as well as improved food and nutrition security and enhanced social services. Cabinet considered and approved the Tourism Amendment Bill, which was presented by the Minister of Tourism and Hospitality Industry, Honorable Barbara Rodzi. The new bill seeks to ensure that Zimbabweans benefit from the local tourism resources in fulfillment of Section 13 of the Constitution of Zimbabwe, which provides for national development which is inclusive of the marginalized areas of our society. The new bill will incorporate the principles of public administration and leadership set out in the Constitution of Zimbabwe and the Public Entities and Corporate Governance Act. The bill also comprehensively addressed the ease of doing business environment in line with Vision 2030. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for the presentation.
Thank you, Chief Secretary. The first question to Honorable Minister of Home Affairs and Cultural Heritage on the Home Affairs ICT systems, that when are we expecting the rollout of the traffic management system, and what will the forensic laboratory be able to achieve in terms of the Home Affairs integrated ICT systems? Over to you, Honorable Kazembe.
Thank you, Honorable Chairman. Allow me to thank the journalist for the pertinent questions that he has raised. Maybe let me start by giving the context that we are talking about when we talk of the Ministry of Home Affairs integrated solution. The Honorable Chairman, Dr. Mskwere, mentioned pillars. This system constitutes, it comprises of pillars that together, when integrated or interconnected, they form what we call the Ministry of Home Affairs integrated solution. Now, these pillars that he spoke about this civil registry pillar, the Zimbabwe Population Registry System, the ZPRS, which has seen the culmination of e-passports and all the rest of it. Ultimate goal being online services. Then the second pillar is the online border management system. That is now immigration. The third pillar that he spoke about is the police integrated information management system. Now, that pillar on its own, the police integrated information management system, can be dissected into other pillars under it. In other words, what am I saying? I'm saying we are going to computerize the entire Zimbabwe Republic Police. How? By having individual systems or pillars within the PIIMS, the Police Integrated Information Management System. Now, pillars, which pillars am I talking about? We are talking about the crime management pillar, crime management system. which is a computerized system to manage crime. Then we have obviously the command center, which is the overall, central, the pivotal system. And then as another pillar, we have got the traffic management system, which is what the gentleman is interested in. And then we also have the forensic laboratory management system, and so on and so on. All these pillars are now under the police integrated information management system, which in itself is a pillar of the Ministry of Home Affairs integrated solution. Now, with the traffic management systems, we've already started work on that one. We have, the police have already come up with their needs assessment and the equipment that is required, and a number of potential suppliers have already approached the government to enter into partnership, including some suppliers that have done work, in the Western world, in the UAE, and all the rest of it. So it's work in progress, and in fact, we should be able to start implementing this system this year, this 2024. And the other pillars that the minister has spoken about, work is already in progress. Online border management system, work is already in progress. Now, coming to the forensic laboratory information management system, what does it do? It's basically a system that will ensure that, whenever a crime is committed, evidence is supposed to be analyzed. Yeah? Suppose somebody's been shot, we need to analyze the gunpowder, we need to analyze all those things, and all that need proper equipment to do the analysis. If the DNA, for example, DNA tests, currently we are having to outsource these services. But with this new technology now that we're going to deploy, and in fact, we already have equipment that we've received, equipment that even does, we've got a problem right now in the country and the world over, that of drug and substance abuse. We need equipment, we need the technology to be able to test the drugs, not only just to test the drugs, but also to test the people. With the current equipment that we now have in the country, in a fraction of a second, I'll be able to tell who is intoxicated in this room. Because the technology that we now have can use your sweat, your body language, and all those things. This technology I'm talking about, we have actually received some of it as a donation from countries like friendly countries like China and Japan. So that's what the forensic information management system will attempt to do. I thought I could share this with the colleagues.
Thank you, Honorable Kazembe. The second and third question focuses on the Ministry of Youth. Honorable Machakaire, the question is, do we have enough budgetary support to roll out the youth service in Zimbabwe? And the second question is from a freelance journalist, that what criteria is being used in terms of enrollment of members of the youth to participate in the youth service program in Zimbabwe. I'll also ask the other ministers to add on. Honorable Machakaire, you can respond.
Thank you very much, Honorable Musqueda. I'm going to respond to the first question asked by the gentleman from Colera, whereby he asked about if the ministry is adequate budgetary support to support the cause. Let me start by appreciating the Cabinet for approving the National Youth Service to be in place, but also appreciating His Excellency the President for the support. But nevertheless, the funding is available, and we have been assured by the Ministry of Finance that they are going to be supporting and considering the funds that will be allocated through the budget. But I just hope that considering the fact that this is a collective approach and everyone is very happy about the National Youth Service coming into place, so I just hope that from what we've been promised, the funds will be available for the program to sell through. Then secondly, he asked, there's another gentleman who asked about the criteria that we are going to use. As I had said earlier on, that when it comes to National Youth Service, we need to make sure that we include every youth that is in Zimbabwe. So we've engaged with stakeholders and other ministries. So we are working as a team to come up with a position that will leave no one behind in terms of recruiting these youth. So I just hope we'll come up with a position that is going to be also addressed to the nation to make sure that there's everyone included in the national service. I submit. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Machakaire. Comrade Ramaida and the other freelance journalists, Honorable Machakaire has already responded. The criteria is you have to be Zimbabwean, and we are leaving no one and no place behind, but within a stipulated age, 18 to 35. But there is no discrimination. This is about national orientation, life skills, and entrepreneurship. So the enrollment will start this year. The resources are also in place. Thank you. Thank you, Chief Secretary. Honorable Barbara Rodzi, you can respond to the question about the differences in terms of the tourism bill. Then the third question is about Honorable Machakaire. The question was, are you going to share the curriculum with the public to ensure that it is not political? I will respond to the Minister of Health question.
Thank you very much for the questions, and thank you, Chairman. How the bill will benefit to the local communities and when the bill will go through to the Parliament, we are moving with the first step to ensure that this bill can go to the Parliament during the second quarter of the year. We're hoping that the stakeholders consultations will move at the same pace so that we can take it through to the Parliament. And UN tourism is encouraging all countries to practice sustainable tourism. And sustainable tourism speaks in two parts: the environment itself and inclusivity of the local communities. With communities involved in tourism, it will give more life to tourism and placing the local communities in the value chain of tourism. Then tourism will make sense to our economy as a country, and it will also incorporate His Excellency's mantra to say, leave no one and no place behind. So we are happy that our President's vision, as well as the vision for UN tourism, is moving together. Campfire falls under Ministry of Environment, Climate and Wildlife, so it's not directly linked to us, but however, because we all know that the money that is discussed within Campfire comes from the tourists. So we are having engagement with the Minister of Tourism, Minister of Environment, Climate and Wildlife, to ZIMPAS, to sit down and ensure, because it is our duty, since the money comes from the tourists, it is also within our jurisdiction to ensure that this money really benefits the communities. So it's inculcated that there, and our discussions will speak to Campfire as well. I thank you, and I submit.
Thank you, Honorable Rodzi. Over to you, Honorable Machakaire.
I think from 260 Church, we asked if we are going to share the curriculum with the public to ensure that it is not politicized. This is a very important question, and I know everyone is not going to want to know what is going to happen. But is us, the ministers, we are not politically affiliated to any political party. We are government representatives. So when we are talking of government, when we are talking on behalf of the government, which means we are representing everyone. So the curriculum is definitely of public consumption. So it is going to be addressed to everyone so that we share, we have the same position, we have the same opinion, and we come up with the same position to make sure that we groom our youth to defend our nation, to support our nation, to support our vision as Zimbabweans. As I said earlier on that we are going to engage, we've engaged already with some stakeholders, other ministries are part of this, so which means there's nothing that is going to be hidden, everything is going to be public. We want to make sure that we share the ideas that we have as government and the ideas that Zimbabweans have to support this cause. So we want to really appreciate the Zimbabweans, even the stakeholders that are supporting this cause, to make sure that we support the National Youth Service. I submit. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. About the cholera question, when you analyze the statistics from onset when cholera outbreak commenced, you realize that there's been a decrease in terms of the cases of the suspected cholera cases. If we were to analyze the 19th to 25th of March statistics report, it is clear that there's been a decrease in terms of the new suspected cholera cases. The numbers keep diminishing, mainly because of the vaccination procurement and implementation modalities that the government of Zimbabwe has been able to implement. The training, the media awareness that the members of the fourth estate have been able to participate, to disseminate information about cholera, the solutions, and the health institutions involved in the treatment of cholera have also helped to diminish the numbers. The surveillance that is being implemented by the Ministry of Health and Child Care continues being accelerated to ensure that we win this fight against cholera. The bore drilling program that we've continued to accelerate to ensure that we provide water and sanitation facilities across the country, including hotspot areas. The deployment of oral rehydration points, the mobilization of cholera treatment centers, the deployment of medical personnel, and recently the implementation of monitoring and supervision of all gatherings during the Easter holidays has ensured that the numbers continues to diminish. So members of the fourth estate have done well in terms of disseminating information about cholera as well. So what I can assure you is that the numbers keep decreasing and we are winning the fight against the cholera challenges. And you should continue as members of the fourth estate to disseminate the information about the dangers, water and sanitation that is being implemented as well by the Ministry of Health and Child Care. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair, and other Honorable Ministers here present for responding to the questions raised by members of the press. We have come to the end of today's session. Let's meet next week. Thank you very much.